After 70, don't let your muscles shrink. Try this at home. Have you ever noticed that getting out of a chair feels a little harder than it used to? Or maybe carrying groceries takes just a bit more effort, or going up the stairs leaves you more winded than it once did. If any of that sounds familiar, you're not alone, and you're definitely not broken. It's something that happens to all of us as we get older. But here's the good news, you can do something about it. And the best part, you don't even need to leave your house. After 70, our muscles naturally start to shrink and weaken if we don't give them a reason to stay strong. It's a slow and sneaky process called muscle atrophy, and it doesn't care how healthy you were 10 years ago. But just because it's common doesn't mean it's inevitable. There are simple, effective things you can do at home, starting today, to keep your strength, your balance, and your independence. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Because I believe that aging should never mean giving up the activities you love or depending on others for the little things. Whether it's gardening, dancing, playing with your grandkids, or simply walking with confidence, you deserve to feel strong and steady every single day. Let's start with the first thing that matters more than most people realize: how often you move. Notice I didn't say how hard or how long, just how often. When you go too long without moving your body, your muscles start to forget their job. But even a few minutes of movement spread throughout your day can make a world of difference. Think about how many moments in a day you sit still. Watching TV, reading the paper, scrolling on your phone, eating meals, it all adds up. And that stillness quietly chips away at your strength. But if you make it a habit to stand up every hour and stretch, walk a few steps, or even just march in place for a bit, your body gets the message. Hey, we're still using these muscles. Let's keep them strong. You don't need to sweat or push yourself to exhaustion. Just moving your body a little more often, especially your legs, hips, and core, can help maintain and even rebuild muscle over time. Try standing up and sitting down from your chair without using your hands a few times each day. Or take a slow walk around your home or yard. Even lifting your heels off the ground while holding onto the kitchen counter builds strength in your calves and improves your balance. And speaking of balance, that brings us to another powerful at-home practice: stability training. Most people don't think about balance until they start to lose it, but it plays a huge role in keeping your muscles working properly. When you challenge your balance, your core, hips, and legs all get engaged without you even realizing it. A great way to gently challenge your balance is to practice standing on one foot while holding onto a chair or countertop. Start with 10 seconds at a time, then work your way up. You can also try walking heel to toe along a hallway or stretching your arms out to the side and slowly turning your head side to side. These movements might seem small, but they're telling your muscles and your nervous system to stay sharp and responsive. And don't worry if you feel a little wobbly at first. That's normal. The point isn't to be perfect, it's to be consistent. Every time you practice, you're laying down the building blocks for better strength and steadier steps. Now, let's talk about something that doesn't require movement at all, but has just as much impact: how you fuel your body. Because muscles can't grow or stay strong without the right nutrition. And one of the most important nutrients as we age is protein. You might think protein is just for bodybuilders or athletes, but it's absolutely essential for older adults too. In fact, once we pass 60, our bodies need more protein to maintain and repair muscle. That means if we're not getting enough, our muscles start to shrink, even if we're staying active. So, how can you tell if you're getting enough? One simple check is to ask yourself, do you have a source of protein at every meal? That could be eggs at breakfast, tuna or chicken at lunch, beans or lentils at dinner, even a small handful of nuts as a snack. You don't need a huge portion, just a consistent intake spread throughout your day. If your appetite isn't what it used to be, or if you struggle with heavier meals, that's okay. Smoothies, soups with added beans, or yogurt with fruit are all great options that are gentle on the stomach but still packed with muscle-friendly nutrients. And while we're on the topic of nutrition, don't forget about hydration. Muscles are mostly made of water, and when you're dehydrated, they can't work efficiently. If you've ever felt sluggish or weaker on a hot day, there's a good chance you were just low on fluids. Keep a glass of water nearby and sip often, especially during and after any movement. All of these small things, movement, balance, protein, hydration, they might not seem like much on their own. But when you weave them into your day, they start to build something powerful. They tell your body, we're still in the game. They remind your muscles that they matter. And they help you keep doing the things you love with less effort and more confidence. Now that we've talked about how often you move, how to work on balance, and how to feed your muscles, let's take it a step further. Because the next thing we're going to look at might just be the missing link for many people trying to regain strength at home. Because building strength isn't just about moving more, it's also about how you move and what kind of support your body gets between those moments of effort. And that's what brings us to something most people overlook when trying to stay strong at home: recovery. You see, many people think that building muscle only happens during activity. But the truth is, muscles grow and repair after you move, when you're resting, when you're sleeping, when you're sitting quietly. That's when your body gets to work, patching up little tears in the muscle fibers, making them a bit stronger and more resilient each time. So if you're not giving yourself enough rest, or if your sleep is poor, you may actually be holding back your progress without realizing it. That means recovery isn't a luxury. It's part of the process. And the best kind of recovery, it starts with good, deep sleep. I know sleep can become more difficult with age. Maybe you wake up more during the night or find it hard to fall asleep in the first place. But even small changes can make a big difference. Try creating a calming nighttime routine, maybe some light stretching before bed, a warm cup of herbal tea, or turning off screens an hour earlier. These gentle habits help signal to your body that it's time to wind down and repair. And here's something else that helps recovery and strength: gentle stretching. Especially after you've done some movement. Stretching keeps your muscles flexible, helps improve blood flow, and can ease stiffness in the joints. You don't need to do yoga or follow a complicated routine. Just reaching your arms overhead, rolling your shoulders back, or bending forward gently while seated can release tension and make your muscles feel more refreshed the next day. Try this simple stretch. Sit near the edge of your chair with your feet flat. Interlace your fingers and reach your arms forward, as if you're pushing away from something. Hold it for 5 deep breaths, then relax. That one stretch can help loosen tight shoulders and upper back muscles, especially if you've been sitting a while. The point isn't to force your body, but to invite it to move more freely. Another powerful tool for maintaining muscle after 70 is something you may already be doing without thinking: daily functional movement. These are the movements you make naturally throughout the day: standing up, reaching, bending, stepping sideways. We tend to take them for granted, but they are gold for preserving strength. So instead of thinking about formal exercise, think about upgrading your daily habits. For example, next time you reach down to pick something up, try doing it with control, using your legs to lower yourself, not just your back. That's a squat. When you stand up from a chair, see if you can do it slowly, maybe even pause halfway up. That's strength training for your thighs and hips, right there in your living room. These little moments add up. Every time you use your body with intention, you're sending it the message: stay strong. I still need you. Whether you're carrying a laundry basket, vacuuming, or even climbing into bed, every action is a chance to strengthen what you already have. And if you're thinking, well, I don't really do much during the day, that's okay too. You can create moments for movement right where you are. Marching in place during commercials, doing arm circles while waiting for the kettle to boil, or tapping your toes while sitting. These might seem small, but over time, they become a steady rhythm of strength building. Now, let's talk about something that ties all of this together: confidence. Because physical strength is only one part of the equation. Feeling strong, believing that you are strong, is just as important. I've seen so many older adults who hesitate to move because they're afraid of falling, or they feel unsure about what their bodies can do. And that fear can lead to even more inactivity, which leads to more weakness, a frustrating cycle. But the way out of that cycle is to rebuild trust in your body. And you do that one small success at a time. Maybe today, you stand up from a chair without help. Tomorrow, you add a second repetition. The next day, you reach overhead with more ease. Each of those victories adds to your confidence. And confidence is what keeps you moving. You don't need to move fast. You don't need to move perfectly. You just need to move with belief that your body is still capable, still responsive, still full of potential. Because it is. It really is. If you ever find yourself doubting that, remember this: your muscles don't know how old you are. They only know whether they're being used, whether they're being challenged, whether they're needed. So show them they're still needed. Show them that you still want to walk tall, carry your own bags, dance in the kitchen, or work in the garden without pain. This isn't about turning back the clock. It's about living fully in the time you do have, and doing it with strength, with joy, and with confidence. You might be thinking, okay, I'm doing the movement, eating better, stretching, and resting, but how do I stay motivated? That's a fair question. Because motivation doesn't always come naturally. Sometimes it needs a little nudge. Try thinking about what you want to stay strong for. Is it playing with your grandkids? Traveling? Staying in your home as long as possible? Being independent? When your reason is clear, it becomes easier to show up each day, even for just 5 or 10 minutes. And some days, motivation might be as simple as reminding yourself, I can do this and I deserve to feel better. You do. You deserve strength. You deserve stability. And you deserve to live your life on your terms, not shrinking, not retreating, but moving forward with purpose. Now, as we come to the final part of our conversation, I want to remind you that everything we've talked about, the frequent gentle movement, the balance practice, the nourishing meals, the rest, and the mindset, all work together to keep your muscles strong and your body steady. But there's one last key habit that often gets overlooked, and that's consistency. It's not the big, dramatic bursts of activity that matter most. It's what you do day after day, week after week, that truly makes a difference. So instead of pushing yourself to do a lot all at once, focus on making these healthy habits the regular part of your life. It's about building a lifestyle that supports strength naturally and sustainably. One of the easiest ways to stay consistent is to connect your new habits to something you already do every day. For example, if you like to have a cup of tea in the afternoon, use that time to stand up and stretch, or do a few slow leg lifts while you wait for the kettle to boil. If you enjoy reading the newspaper or watching your favorite show, try standing during commercials and practicing your balance exercises. These small tweaks turn ordinary moments into opportunities for strength building. And don't forget to celebrate your progress, no matter how small it seems. Every time you stand up without using your hands, every time you take a few extra steps, every time you choose a protein-rich meal or drink a full glass of water, you're doing something amazing for your body. It's these tiny victories that add up over time. Now, I want to share a simple but powerful tip for keeping your muscles engaged without any equipment. This is something you can do anytime, anywhere, while watching TV, sitting at the kitchen table, or even talking on the phone. It's called isometric muscle activation. Basically, you tighten or contract your muscles and hold that tension for a few seconds before relaxing. For example, you can sit tall in your chair, press your feet firmly into the floor, and tighten your thigh muscles as if you're trying to straighten your legs without actually moving them. Hold for 5 to 10 seconds, then relax. Repeat this a few times. It's gentle, safe, and incredibly effective at waking up muscles that tend to get lazy when we sit too long. You can do the same with your arms by squeezing your fists gently or pressing your palms together in front of your chest and holding that tension. These small exercises help maintain muscle tone and remind your nervous system that these muscles are still needed, even if you're not lifting weights or going to the gym. Remember, muscle loss after 70 is natural, but it doesn't have to control your life. By embracing these simple at-home habits, moving regularly, focusing on balance, eating well, resting adequately, and staying consistent, you can reverse muscle shrinkage and reclaim your strength. And perhaps most importantly, don't be afraid to listen to your body. Some days you might feel stronger, other days a little tired. That's normal. The key is to keep showing up, even if it's just a little. Progress isn't always linear, but with patience and persistence, you will see improvements. If you're feeling inspired, I encourage you to share your journey with others. Comment below and tell me one thing you're going to start doing today to keep your muscles strong. Hearing from you not only motivates me, but also helps others see that they're not alone. And if this video gave you hope or practical ideas, please hit the like button. It really helps more people discover ways to stay strong at home. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you won't miss any future tips to keep your health and independence thriving. You've come this far, and you have everything you need to keep going. Your muscles may have shrunk a little over time, but with these habits, you can help them grow stronger and more resilient again. The best part? You don't need fancy equipment or a gym membership. You just need yourself, a little space, and the willingness to start today. So here's to you, staying active, feeling confident, and embracing every new day with strength and grace. Your body is capable of amazing things, no matter your age. Keep moving forward, keep nourishing yourself, and keep believing in your power. Thank you for spending this time with me. I can't wait to hear how you're doing. Until next time, take care, stay strong, and enjoy the beautiful journey of aging with strength and joy.